Well, Dana White recently announced that Conor McGregor won't be fighting this year. He has not had a fight since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to fight Michael Chandler last June, but that hasn't happened. So this guy was essentially the face of UFC, and he hasn't had a fight in 3 years. It's now coming up on 4 years.
Right, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
He's rich as hell?
Too rich, yeah. They actually, as a matter of fact, I think he just announced he's going to be running for president of Ireland.
Okay.
He's definitely going to win.
I hope not.
What do you mean?
Why? What? Like, come on, it shouldn't be a popularity contest.
It's not a popular. Why do you think Trump got elected?
I could tell you a lot. That I have a lot of theories on that one. I mean, it's a perfect storm in this country. I mean, there's people. It's after Obama. I think the latent racism that a lot of people harbored came out.
I don't know. I mean,
are you kidding me?
You could say that. You could say that.
Okay.
But, I mean, Hillary did win the popular vote, so it's not like it was completely to that level. I personally think that Donald Trump was a major celebrity. He was on a major TV show. And when he campaigned, he would go to all these places where celebrities have never even gone to. You know, he brought his star power into the mix.
But where are the places that he went to?
Middle America.
Let's
with all white people. I get it.
Let's go back in history, okay? Back when the slavery was abolished, right? There were these white people who now were at the bottom of society because slaves had a trade. They knew how to do something. But there was these white people that were uneducated and poor that were now, they offered nothing. That's where the KKK came from. All these disenfranchised poor white folks, they needed somebody to look down on. Because why would they would mobilize to get the KKK going. All of that, those people, there's a lot of, those people didn't go nowhere. There's still people who offer nothing to society, uneducated and all that kind of stuff. But hey, they were there. And what do you need to do? As long as you could identify with that group and tell them what they wanted to hear, all right? Because nobody really spoke to them before in the way that they hear it. Very simple. Okay? It was very smart to go to those people and tell them, you the chosen ones. I'm here for you, and give them, because they're not heard, right? So, and those people now had 8 years under Obama, the most powerful man in the country. Now, it's one thing for white folks who don't know they're racist to say, hey, I'm good with black people, because black people were in their lives on their own time, right? I got a black friend. But wait till a black guy marries your daughter. Oh, now it's a little different. Ooh, now I got some other things going on, because that's not on your time. That person's now in your face. And Obama was a guy who married into your family. Now you're looking at the most powerful man in the country. And what did I say earlier? If however you thinketh, right? You're going to find things to support whatever your mindset is. So these people that had to look at this Obama, and then people talking about racism, like, no, racism's done. That's the most powerful man. No, I don't want to hear nothing anymore, And the last thing they wanted to hear is about black people being, racially profiled or whatever, because they're dealing with this man, and the ugliness is starting to come out. Anything that man did, they attacked. And here comes Trump talking your language. To me, that is a perfect storm for those people who felt downtrodden and not heard to get back up there and make America great again.
Well, listen, you and I are both right. What we're talking about is ideas, and ideas are just that. There's no true or false to ideas, right? So obviously what you're saying, there's a lot of truth in it. But when you look at the actual numbers, Obama won by landslides both times.
Right.
So why didn't these racist white people mobilize against Obama?
Because they didn't have their man in place yet.
But they had Obama ran against two white guys who both lost.
No.
Horribly.
Not two white guys who was speaking their language and said everything that they wanted to hear. Right? Because, you could sit there and go, well, this man knew what he was doing. There's a lot to show that he particularly did this. And come on, I shouldn't even have to. Well, no, listen, I shouldn't even have to be a detective on this. All this stuff is well known.
Look, Mitt Romney was like a billionaire. Clearly Mitt Romney did not connect with the trailer trash of America.
Exactly. The way this man speaks, everybody, I understood everything he said. Yep, I feel the same damn way.
Right. I don't think Mitt Romney ever had a mayonnaise sandwich. But Trump probably tried it once or twice.
Yeah, man. Because on every level, man. You think about this for a second. Okay, not even being political about this. If your group is called, you are a Trump supporter. Just look at that. You are a Trump supporter. Doesn't that have the same connotation as a fringe group or a cultish type of, it's a weird thing because think about that. There's no Obama supporter.
You're right.
There's no anything other. Why do you designate a name for what you are?
Right. There's no equivalent of a MAGA hat for Obama supporters, Biden supporters.
But willfully they say, I'm
Hillary
a Trump supporter.
Yes.
But that belongs in the same category as I'm a, flat earther. I'm a tea party. It's because these fringe groups have names to them that they dignify themselves to.
Right.
So it's like, okay, just being very objective about it. Why are you called a Trump supporter? Why is there a designation and a name to what your group is if there's not a fringe element to it?
Okay. See where we go.
We don't have Reagan support. Show me another thing where the word supporter comes or there's a designation of a particular group.
Yeah, no, I can't think of it.
You're calling yourself a fringe group and it's out in the open. Interesting. Even if I was a Trump supporter, I would sit back and go, what is that about?
Right. You're not just saying you're voting for Trump. You're saying you're a Trump supporter. You're all in into the whole culture of it.
There was no, there was no name that you needed to be any other kind of supporter.
What'd you think when Trump got shot?
Oh man, my brother's Secret Service, right?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. He just retired, but he knew the people on that detail, and he was like, he knew the
Are they
person.
still employed, by the way?
Well, one of the things is
because the head of the Secret Service had to
he
step
was
down
like,
after.
man, what happened there? And he's got his insight to it, and he's like, first of all, they really boggled that because you get fired on. The president or whomever, ex-president or whatever, now is your client. You are in control. That man should not be in control. But of course, he wasn't the president, right? And one of the things that my brother explains is that security is the first thing to go in a budget. They always cut down on security because it's expensive and it's a pain in the ass. All security is a pain in the ass to the person being secured, because every bit of your movement is always hindered because of security, and people go, God damn it, no, that's enough. And there's a first thing in a budget they slash. Until something happens, and then
pop it back up again.
But that's the nature of things. That's the nature of security. It should be damn expensive, and like knowing, and I'm kind of into it. I do a lot of tactical training. I've been doing that for years, right? I'm kind of a nerd with that, and the competition shooting, that kind of stuff. This is part of that. That's my golf. I do that kind of stuff. But so I look at things from that tactical eye. And I got a lot of tactical, nerds. My brother-in-law, all these guys are military and deep in their consultants and former, contractors and stuff like that. So I'm kind of into that world. But yeah, there's a lot going on there, and some suspicious stuff as well.